Pete Rock hates when I say this. After Down with the King came out, Pete Rock literally saved Run DMC's career with Down with the King. People were giving respect, but we dropped that record in the 90s and people started bowing and said, yes, it is true. These guys are the king. So thank you. He hates when I say it, but it's true. We'd have been over. That was the single on the record. That was the video on the record. We did records with Q-Tip, EPMD, records didn't mean nothing. That record dropped and Pete Rock said, yo, y'all ain't got to do nothing except do what y'all do. Me and CL got y'all. And he, reworked our lyrics or whatever.
Still sounds dope.
So that record put us back out there everywhere. The money was better. The success was better. People were called, come to Canada, come to Europe, come to Russia, whatever. Right at that time, everything was good, but I got depressed. And I got more depressed. The more successful I got depressed. Everybody was trying to figure out, how in the world could you're DMC, King of Rock, first to go gold, first to go platinum, first to the cover of Rock. You're right. How in the world? I didn't know what it was. It was just this funny feeling in me, this void in me. It was killing me. It was crazy. I didn't know what it was. I would come off stage every night and just lay in my hotel room, at the JW Marriott, the Four Seasons. Like, what? I didn't know what it was. So I'm going through this long depression, and I get to the point where depression is funny because you get to the point where you just don't want to live with it no more. Now, I wanted to commit suicide because of this depressive feelings, but the reason why I wanted to commit suicide is really stupid. I'm touring with Run. This is when before Jay got shot and killed. Mm-hmm. So we tour, and I come home, and somebody tells me about this guy called Deepak Chopra. So I go to the bookstore, and I buy all these Deepak Chopra books, The Meaning of Life, whatever. While in the bookstore section where he's at is the metaphysical section. So I'm getting Eastern philosophy, Asian, Buddhist, Indian. I'm reading all these philosophy books now. The whole suicide thing was enhanced because I came to this conclusion because of metaphysical books and Deepak Chopra. The purpose for which I was put here has been accomplished. I'm DMC, the king. It's done. It's written in the books. You can never take it from me. So I don't want to wait till I'm 90 or 100 to die. I want to speed this up a little bit more now. So I went through those things of thinking about jumping off of roofs and drinking the poison, all of that. So then I was caught myself like, something's really the matter with me because why am I thinking of it? But then I said, just in case I do die tomorrow, people know the DMC story. They know what me and Run did, Russell, his brother, my Adidas, all of that stuff. But nobody knows about the little boy Darryl, who's just a normal MFer like all y'all out there. I'm a normal boy who grew up in Nassau Creek. If I die tomorrow, people need to know that story. So this is in the year 2000. Up to that, I was just a metaphysical, alcoholic, suicidal, spiritual wreck. So I say, hey, if I die tomorrow, people need to know my story. I call my mother up, and I go, yo, Mom, I'm going to write this book, and I need to know 3 things about the day I was born. I know my birthday is May 31st, 1964. I just want to know how much did I weigh, what hospital, what time. She told me those 3 things. Thank you, love you, hung up the phone. Hour goes by, she calls back with my father. Hey, hi, Darryl. Hey, son, how you doing? We have something else to tell you. Okay, shoot. Well, you was a month old when we brought you home and you're adopted, but we love you, bye. So that's how I found out, over the phone. So right then and there, my soul goes, I'm really going to kill myself now because I'm not even bifing and banners or whatever. But then this peace came over me. DMC, Run DMC, Jay's my friend, Run's my friend, this Run DMC thing, bifing and banners my mother, Alfred's my brother. St. John's University put the first record out, first to go gold, first to go platinum, everything up to that point is part of who I am. There was a missing piece to my identity, a missing truth that was a mystery. When she said those words, adopted, even though it was traumatic, it filled the void. Adopted. It was like, Indiana Jones, put the piece fit. Now, right after that, I was like, all right, what I'm going through, because I'm this musician DMC guy, there's probably a lot of people that feel like me. I got an idea. I'm gonna make a record. About my situation. Now, before that, 3 years prior to that, when I was into my depression, I didn't know how things worked. My manager, Eric, who was Run DMC's manager at the time, he takes me to Clive Davis' Grammy party in L.A., And I'm sitting there. And in 1997, Sarah McLachlan had put out that record Angel.
Mm-hmm.
When I first heard the record Angel in the back of a limousine,
On the way to this party?
no, that came later.
Oh, this is later, yeah.
Right. I'm on the road doing the when I first going through, Down with the King comes out 93, from 93 to 96, everything's good. Now I'm depressed. Watch it, everything's like back to where it was at. In 97, 96 and 97, I get in the back of this car, and the driver says to me, yo, DMC, you want to turn the radio on? And I was like, yeah, whatever. I ain't care about nothing. He turns it on to Hot 97 in New York. And that was the last thing I wanted to hear was some rap guys, right? So I said, anything but that channel. He turns it to Light FM. And the song, in the arms of an angel, fly away. And something in that song said deep down in me, D, I know you're going through a lot, but it's good to be alive. So for one whole year, all I listened to was Sarah McLachlan records. At the end of that year, my manager and my publicist trying to, yo, D's bugging out. He really might kill himself, so keep him busy. He takes me to Clive Davis Grammy party. And I'm sitting at the door. Busta Rhymes walks in, shows me love. Alicia Keys walks in, shows me love. Stevie Wonder walks in, shows me love. Who walks in next? That lady who made that record that makes me feel so good. I get up, I walk over to her, and I go, Miss McLachlan. She sees me coming. She goes, it's tricky to rock around my Adidas. Walk there. Hits the B-boy stance. And in my head, I'm like, CD, even Sarah McLachlan likes your music. It's a good reason to stay alive. So I just go, Miss McLachlan, I just want to tell you, the name of the record is Angel. You sound like an angel. People say you're an angel, but you're not an angel to me. You're God. Every day I listen to your music. I went out and brought your whole catalog, everything you made up to that day. This and I don't leave my house without it. When I travel, I listen to that record, this and that. And so I finish. And she just looks at me. She says, thank you, Darryl. Thank you for telling me that, because that's what music is supposed to do. Shakes my hand, walks away. 3 years go by, it's 2000. I found out that I'm adopted. I'm going to make this record. Now, when I was a little kid growing up in Hollis, Queens, New York, I didn't care nothing about afros, black power, James Brown, Say It Loud, high heels, and bell bottoms. For some reason, back in the 70s, FM radio, the station would play Sly and the Family Stone, James Brown, the Jackson 5, but they also would play the Doobie Brothers and Harry Chapin and Jim Croce and Bob Dylan and the Rolling Stones and Creedence Clearwater. Radio was classic
open format like that.
Yeah, it was an open format like that. For some reason, it was just something about the folk rock records, the rock records, and this record called Cats in the Cradle by Harry Chapin. Down, 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 down. The child is born just the other day, came into the world. Ever since I was a kid, it was something about that record. So I'm going through these. I'm going to take my story and do a remake of Eric, get Sarah McLachlan on the phone. Get the lady whose record saved my life so I can use her to help me do what she did. So make a long story short, I call Sarah McLachlan up. This is 3 years after I met her. I get on the phone and, hey, Miss McLachlan, remember me? And she says, I love her. She's funny. She goes, how could I forget you? You called me God. What is it? And I go, well, remember when I saw you and I told you what your record did to me? She was like, yeah. Well, I just found out that I was adopted, and I want to make a record that speaks to people, feel just like me, whatever. Will you do this record with me? It was the easiest thing in the world. No agents, no manager, no label headache. Yeah, D, come to my house in Vancouver, Canada, and we can make the record at her home studio. So I'm a fan by now. I always tell her, the joke is I faint. I wake up, I'm in Vancouver, Canada. We record the record. It takes us 2 days. Now, remember, I get in the car. I hear a record. A year goes by. I go to a party I didn't want to go to. She happens to be there. I get to meet her. She says that's what music is supposed to do. Mm-hmm. That was 97. 2000, I found out that I'm adopted. I call her back up to make a record so I could do what her record did to me for some other people. Took us 2 days to record the record. Now I know why she asked me to her house. Before I left, she was like, Darryl, before you go, I got to tell you something. I don't know what. She goes, I was adopted too, and I did not know that.